The immobilizer of the Passat, Passat CC and CC differs from that of other models, and so does service work in some areas. This is due to Volkswagen's high safety standards. For faultless service, it is necessary to have basic knowledge of the entire system. Briefly summarized, when a vehicle comes off the production line, all component serial numbers will be stored in the Vehicle Information and Central Identification Tool, the Fazit database. These are the serial numbers of the Convenience Control Unit with Immobilizer function, the Electronic Steering Column Lock, the lock set with keys, and the Engine Control Unit. All the immobilizer components which are registered for a vehicle are referred to as identity. If a component has to be replaced, the following procedure takes place. If, for example, the electronic steering column lock is replaced, the diagnosis tester asks for the serial number of the new component. The tester transmits the new serial number to the Fazit database in Wolfsburg. Fazit then transmits a data package to all immobilizer components. They can now identify the new steering column lock they will work with. The immobilizer components can only be adapted once. There are, however, two exceptions. The engine control unit and the keys can be adapted indefinitely. Here the immobilizer is not integrated into the dash panel insert, but into the convenience system central control unit. That's why, after replacing the dash panel insert, it is not necessary to adapt the immobilizer. In the case of complaints referring to the immobilizer, you always have to fully complete the guided fault finding mode under diagnosis. To do so, set this check mark. At the end of the guided fault finding process, when all the control units have been queried, the test plan can be opened by choosing the corresponding tab. It contains all the repair steps to be executed. Carry out service work at the immobilizer in one go without interruption and make sure not to switch the ignition on or off for any reason. If the ignition cannot be switched on after replacing the components, select Guided Functions, Immobilizer, Terminal 15 not switchable, and follow the testing instructions. When working on the immobilizer, always familiarize yourself with the basics of the entire system before beginning. This is where you can find the necessary information. Self-Study Program 340, the Passat 2006 Electrical System. ELSA Workshop Manual, Removing and Installing ESL Control Unit. ELSA Workshop Manual, Immobilizer. TPI 2018893 instructions before starting work on immobilizer components. TPI 2023556 replace control unit for steering column lock. If guided fault finding is not applied, it is also possible to directly adapt the components. To carry out replacement work, directly select the Immobilizer chapter in the Guided Functions mode. Adapt Electronic Steering Column Lock. The Electronic Steering Column Lock, ESCL for short, can be replaced individually. It is no longer necessary to replace it together with the steering column. Under the menu item Adapt Electronic Steering Column Lock, the diagnosis tester guides you through the adaptation process. Adapt ECM. The engine control unit can be replaced individually and adapted several times. It is therefore also possible to change it transversely. The keys can also be adapted more than once. New identity. For a new identity, all the Immobilizer components must be replaced, except for the engine control unit. Online system test. Check the connection to the FAZIT database by carrying out the online system test. Adapt key. Additional keys are ordered via the vehicle identification number. For a key adaptation, all keys are required. Additional keys can only be ordered for the identity currently active. If the identity has been changed, the keys cannot be adapted to the new identity. They were pre-coded for the identity active at the time of order. If a customer loses a key, it's recommended to renew the entire identity for safety reasons. This includes the electronic steering column lock, the convenience system central control unit, and the lock set. In this case, the engine control unit does not have to be exchanged. Activate the new identity via menu item 25, New Identity. Adapt Immobilizer. The Convenience System Central Control Unit with integrated Immobilizer can be renewed individually. There is only one exception. If the component number of the ESCL has the index D, it has to be exchanged together with the Convenience System Central Control Unit. Adapt Immobilizer and ESCL. The electronic steering column lock and the Convenience System Central Control Unit with integrated Immobilizer can be replaced together. Adapt remote control. If the key of a keyless entry vehicle is adapted to the Immobilizer, the remote control key will automatically be adjusted. If the vehicle is not equipped with the keyless entry function, the remote control key must be adapted via this menu item. When renewing the components, please always remember that these can only be adapted once, except for the engine control unit and the keys.